please stop talking about this show. The more you talk, the worse it gets. What is up, YouTube? My name is Mario, aka the Loot Box Hero, aka YouTube's greatest fat man here, bringing you another video. All right, so today has been a crazy day. The one day where I slept in because I really overslept, and I didn't really do any YouTube stuff. I ain't really do a lot of social media. I hung with my grandma, and today it just feel like everybody just decided to do stuff. It just decided to go buck wild today. Okay, Microsoft might be going third party. All right, you know what I'm saying? Disney is trying to buy Epic Games. All right, and then of course Netflix didn't want to be left out of the party, so they decided to talk more about their beleaguered Avatar show. A show that went from peak to garbage in a matter of days. Oh, Lord, man. So, of course, if you want to continue getting videos like this from me, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do. Continue getting videos from me. Follow me on twitter.com/rsmario128. Like my video tweet, share my video tweet, and I will shout you out of this portion of the video. Okay, so Avatar has had a rough week, all right? And I've tried to record this video like 3 times. Every time I try to record it, something else new comes out, and it's almost worse than the last thing that came out. At this point, I'm just gonna go radio silent, all right? Because it's killing my hype for the show, and I still want to see the show, but it's killing my hype for the show. So I'm about to go radio silent on this jam, okay? But we're gonna talk about the 3 issues at the show, the 3 things that so far are wrong with this show. They came out of a Variety interview and an interview with Albert Kim, one of the writers on the show, So first off, Netflix live-action Avatar series took out how sexist Sokka was in the original. A lot of moments in the animated show were iffy. And I'm like, okay. And that's not going to be like, the first like Gen E-ism that we're going to see in official press releases for this show. But yeah, so basically, if you don't know, in the original Avatar show, Sokka was kind of sexist.
I knew I should have left you home. Leave it to a girl to screw things up.
You are the most sexist.
Stop bugging her, Airhead. You need to give girls space when they do their sewing.
What does me being a girl have to do with sewing?
Simple. Girls are better at fixing pants than guys, and guys are better at hunting and fighting and stuff like that. It's just the natural order of things. Show yourselves, cowards! Who are you? Where are the men who ambushed us?
There were no men. We ambushed you.
Wait a second. There's no way a bunch of girls took us down. Sorry, ladies. Didn't mean to interrupt your dance lesson.
And again, like, it was kind of par for the course because, Avatar kind of takes place in like a medieval Asia type of setting. So, I mean, it's just the way it was at that point. You know what I'm saying? It was like that all over the world, but especially in Asia, okay? There's a reason why Mulan exists, okay? Because sexism in Asia was real and kind of still is, especially if you live in China. You know what I'm saying? So it is one of those things. And now the thing is, there's a reason why Sokka was sexist. There's a narrative reason, all right? You know what I'm saying? And it kind of goes to his character development. But let's see what they say in the Variety article. When Avatar The Last Airbender makes its live-action debut next month, technically this month, on Netflix, Sokka's sexism will be toned down considerably. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, cast members Kai Wintao, who is Katara, and Ian Owsley, who is Sokka, informed fans that Sokka's sexism was discussed during the live-action show's development and was deliberately cut away as it had no place within the new remake. Which is kind of crazy because it's kind of, well, I wouldn't say it's an essential part of his character, but it is part of his narrative journey as a character, though. There's more weight with realism in every way. Osley said, which prompted Kai Wento. I feel like we also took out the element of how sexist Sokka was. I feel like there are a lot of moments in the original show that were iffy. Yeah, totally. And then he agrees because, I guess he kind of has to at this point. There are things that were redirected just because it might play a little different in live action. Now, I kind of understand where he's coming from because, you can be a lot more expressive with the animations and stuff in animation in order to play things off a little bit more comedically. But if Osley said it in live action, it would look and feel a bit different. So I understand where they're coming from that point. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm probably gonna get a little pushback because everybody has gotten on the hyperbolic internet train about this. All right, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's the worst thing ever. It's terrible." Like, "Oh my gosh," and just renting their garments and stuff. Like, I get where they're coming from with that. All right, it looks one way in live. It looks one way in animation. It looks another way in live action. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but the thing is, the sexism was a big part of Sokka's character. Okay, all right, it was a big part of his character growth, I should say, anyway, because the whole reason for him being sexist is for him to get humbled by the Kyoshi warriors so that then you can see the character growth afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Of him not being sexist anymore, him battling his sexist ways and stuff like that. That's the whole point of this, And not only is it an interesting narrative thing for the character, it's also interesting for the audience who might be going through the same thing. Especially seeing as though how all these normies in Hollywood are like, oh, all those anime, video game, genre geeks, you know what I'm saying? All of them are just misogynistic incel istaphobes anyway. You know what I'm saying? Having a sexist character get humbled and not be sexist no more seems like a lesson I would want to teach these incel istaphobes. But, it is what it is, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand where they're coming from, but I don't like this change to Sokka. And I feel like it's going to make him a little bit more dry in the show. And then we come up with the next change. So, Sokka's sexism won't be the only difference Avatar fans see in Netflix's The Last Airbender. Showrunner Albert Kim previously said the show does not begin the same way as the animated series. We already talked about this when I broke down the trailer. He said that the live action series will also show the genocide of the Air Nomad people and the rise of the Fire Nation, which was only alluded to in the animated series, which, okay, I mean, I get that, but genocide is okay, but, a little bit of misogyny is bad. Oh, that's a little bit too much. Like, we can show live action niggas dying, but we can't show live action, he said bad words to women. Oh, man. It's making it worse. That's why I said it just makes it worse the more they talk about this. And, he goes on to say, that was a conscious decision to show people that this is not the animated series. We had to sometimes unravel stories and remix them in a new way to make sense for a serialized drama. So I'm very curious to see what will happen in terms of reaction to that. Yeah, that reaction won't that good there, buddy. Now, this last part, or that part in the middle, also is a key change because he said serialized drama. All right, so it's not an episodic adventure anymore. It's a serialized drama. All right, which means that a lot of the kind of fillery anime-like plot structure is gone. All right, and when I mean anime-like, look at something like Pokemon or One Piece. All right, they're not straight to the narrative. They're not tethered to the story. All right, they kind of branch off and veer off into different places, and do a lot of filler stuff. And filler can be good for building world building, maybe a little character development, but it's not story based. You know what I'm saying? Eventually they have to rubber band back to the plot. This show is not going to do that, unlike the animated show, which did. So this show is going to be straight plot. Like, you know what I'm saying? No filler. All right. All fight, no filler, as they used to say back in the anime YouTube clip days. Now, the main reason for this is because of the serialized structure of just streaming shows in general. All right. Most streaming shows have this, like, it's a chunk structure is what I like to call it, where it's like, boom, season 1, boom, season 2, boom, season 3. So there's no time to really venture off and do episodic, like, Monster of the Week stuff. You know what I'm saying? Essentially, they're doing the same thing to this show that the One Piece remake is going to do to that show that's being done by Wit Studios. So if you don't like this, it's coming to One Piece too. All right, and then the final blow from Albert Kim and Netflix. Somebody posted this earlier today. It said, confirmed Netflix's Avatar The Last Airbender series will remove the war in Ba Sing Se, which means, like, this is literally a thing now.
You have to believe me, they're firebenders. They won't stop until they win the war.
Calm down. You're safe now. There's no war in Ba Sing Se.
What are you talking about? Where do you think all the refugees come from? You can't hide it.
There is no war within the walls. Here we are safe.
Now, this is a bigger thing than the Sokka Sexism thing. The Sokka Sexism thing really only affects Sokka. Now, even though, I mean, that might mean that they also got rid of the sexism from, you know, some of the water tribes, because some of the water tribes don't even let their women become benders, which was a big part of Katara's story. You know, they might do the same thing, so this might have just made it worse. But this is huge. Now, if you don't know what Ba Sing Se is the capital city of the Earthbenders, right? It's their capital city, and it's like a massive walled fortress, right? All right, and it's kind of built like the city from Attack on Titan. It's got rings, all right, and different people live in different rings. Like, there's a ring for the poor people, there's a ring for middle class people, and there's a ring for the upper crust, and they all have color-coded roofs, so you know where you are. And essentially, it's the walls have no gate, no hinges, because of course they're earthbenders, so they can just bend the wall down. And it's like this throughout the 100 Years War, you know, being waged by the Fire Nation. So as this war is wreaking havoc outside of the walls, the inside is wreaked with political intrigue and just corruption. And anybody who comes to talk about the war, they get kidnapped by the secret police and basically hypnotized, brainwashed into believing that there is no war in Ba Sing Se. All right, so basically, it's like a political thriller. It's like some Pelican Brief type of stuff in this animated television show, and they took it out, and I'm just sitting here like the one of the good things about adapting an animated show into live action means that you can do serious things and you can touch base on darker things. I mean, he said it when he talked about the daggone genocide. But, you can have genocide in the show, but you can't have, like, government corruption, niggas getting brainwashed, stuff that's pertinent to today. All right, I mean, 'cause have you seen the guy that chopped his dad's head off because of, I don't know, right-wing talking points or whatever? People get, you know, radicalized. You know what I'm saying? There's the liberal guy that shot up the bank because of something capitalism. Like, this stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? This is pertinent. You know, this show could have had some teeth, and you took the teeth out. And then here's the quote from Mr. Kim. I wanted to capture the true beauty of the town and its culture without the audience having to experience the confusion of the rug being ripped from beneath their feet. It's gaslighty.
Hey, listen. You didn't need to post that. Why? Why did you post it? It's too late now to delete it. Now we just have to live with it.
This nigga is a grown man, and he said gaslighting. It has to be like a 20-something in the PR department that's writing these responses for these people. I refuse to believe that grown old men are using gaslighting and iffy as actual terms in day-to-day discourse. I refuse. I refuse to believe society has slipped that far. Okay? But yeah, so he didn't want to gaslight the audience because, you know, manipulating the audience is not something that we're supposed to do in fiction. That's not what we're supposed to do when we tell stories. No, everything's supposed to be straight and narrow and gay at the same time. Oh Lord, this is the problem with Hollywood media, man. Everything is either like some political diatribe, or it's like this flavorless, odorless, gray sludge of inoffensiveness, and that's what this show is slowly turning into. Minus the genocide part. So that's about it. I just wanted to get that off my chest. The new Black Escapism video should be coming out hopefully this weekend. Knock on wood. That's about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, have yourself a good one.